Dear friends, the simulator technology has revolutionized the way the echocardiography is taught to the cardiac fellows and residents, especially the transesophageal echocardiography. Now, this is a typical mannequin, which is a real life size torso, and this is a dummy TE probe which has got all the controls that the real T probe will have, including those electronic plane rotation and anti-flexion and retroflexion, side-by-side flexion, so on and so forth. The T images, which look like an ultrasound rendered images, are shown on the right side of the screen, and on the left side of the screen, you will see the anatomical image. There is an anatomical beating heart cartoon on the left side, showing you the plane exactly where the transesophageal imaging plane is cutting the heart anatomy. So what is there inside the mannequin? Actually, inside the mannequin, it is all hollow, and there is a transmitter which creates a magnetic field. And then there are sensors which are there inside the probe, which are located by the electronic unit. So what happens is that these sensors are coils which enter the magnetic field inside the torso of the mannequin. The transmitter creates low intensity time varying electromagnetic field, while the sensors, when they enter the magnetic field, they create an electric current. This particular electric current is amplified by this electronic unit, and this electronic unit then decides the three-dimensional exact location of these sensors and thereby the imaging plane. This information is sent to the host computer. The host computer has got a three-dimensional data set of a human heart. What the computer does is that it correlates this position, this three-dimensional position of the imaging plane, and gives you the exact cut in the heart anatomy and creates an ultrasound rendered image, and which is shown in real time. There is absolutely no lag, and you get extraordinary images while you are manipulating the transesophageal probe. So this is how the ultrasound rendered image of a four-chamber heart is seen, and you can see how the plane rotates and the way it is cutting the cardiac anatomy, and side by side you continue to see the ultrasound rendered image. So all your manipulations of the T probe are exactly shown on this ultrasound image, giving you a real life T experience. Now, these views are especially useful for the transesophageal echo, and especially for the transgastric views. You know the exact location of the TE probe, and the kind of image that you would get by sending the ultrasound signals across the diaphragm by anti-flexing the probe. You can correlate it with the cardiac anatomy as shown on the left side of the cartoon. So also there can be the simulators can help you in putting the Doppler for say a mitral valve flow, and you can get a real lifelike Doppler flows across various valves. Now these anatomical images are very useful for the learner while he is manipulating the TE probe. He can correlate the ultrasound image anatomy with the left-sided anatomical cross-section. This is the greatest advantage. As you can see here is the two-chamber view, and the way the heart anatomy is cut by this blue plane, which is around 90 to 90 degrees transesophageal view. So also this is the long axis view of the heart, showing the LV inflow and outflow and its corresponding anatomical image. Uh, Now these certain difficult to image structures one can practice very well on the a transesophageal simulator. Like this particular image of the right superior and right inferior pulmonary vein, one can manipulate the probe in the upper esophagus to 30 to 60 degrees and can get the superior and inferior right-sided pulmonary vein in the same plane. Then this is the inflow and outflow view of the right ventricle, or also called as the short axis view of the heart. And one can learn about the anatomy of the aortic wall. Are we inflow and are we outflow at a leisure? The now this is the vertical view, which is also called as bicaval view, and this is the anatomical correlation, and this is the ultrasound image of superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. This is especially useful in understanding the left atrial anatomy and the TE planes, the TE imaging planes, how they cut the left atrial appendage, and how we can go all the way from 0 to 120 degrees to look different lobes of the LA appendage. Now, these are certain difficult views for the novice. Like this is the mid-esophageal 120-degree view with extreme torquing to the left to get the left superior and left inferior pulmonary vein in the same imaging plane. Now, these kind of views we can practice only on the mannequin. This is impossible to practice in the patient because one cannot do a prolonged T study and cause patient discomfort. Now, these are the transgastric views and their orientation to look at the LV short axis at the mitral wall level. And now these are the transgastric views which are generally very difficult for the young cardiology fellows to acquire, and they can practice it on the mannequin. Now, this is a transgastric view with an antiflexion to open up the RVOT. And this is the transgastric view with extreme antiflexion to open up the left ventricular outflow tract. This is the transgastric view to just look at the RA and RV inflow, and also to look at the right atrial appendage. And this is the transgastric view, which is the LV inflow and outflow view, which is exactly upside down of a transthoracic parasternal long axis view. The greatest benefit of the mannequin that I personally found was to learn the imaging of the arch of aorta. One can look at this long axis view of the descending thoracic aorta and short axis view and their corresponding anatomical images. And the most difficult part is to look at the arch of aorta, especially for the plaques in a sacropneumonic stroke. Now, this particular orientation is very easy to understand when you are working on a mannequin. So you can look at this 90-degree cross-sectional view of the arch of aorta at the origin of the left subclavian artery, at the origin of common carotid, and at the origin of the brachiocephalic vessel. The mannequin can also generate beautiful 3D real-time images of the mitral wall, and they give you a great insight in studying the various TEE probes and various TEE maneuvers to look at each scallop of the mitral wall, and also the lateral and the medial commissure. This one can look in a dynamic way also, where one can see the 0-degree plane cutting through the lateral commissure and then rotating to a 60-degree bicaval view, to cut both the medial and lateral commissure, and then going to say 90 degrees, like this, and with a torque medially to look at the medial commissure, and then going all the way to 120 degrees to cut the A2 and P2. This is our simulation lab, where there are 2 mannequins, so simultaneously 2 cardiology fellows can learn, and at one session 20 cardiology fellows can learn all the transesophageal echocardiography views. Now, is there any evidence? Yes. This is a study from a German university. What they did was in group A, they had the cardiology fellows who had a conventional training, while they had group B and group C of residents, where group B, along with their conventional training, they were exposed to simulated training in the first month of training, while group C students were exposed to the simulation based training in their second month. So group A and group B and group C underwent 2 months of TEE training. So at the end of 1 month, what they found was the group B, which was exposed to the simulation training, could achieve most of the TE views independently as compared to group C. And so also their overall rating scores were quite high. While at end of 2 months, the group C, when it got exposed to the simulation, their scores suddenly jumped because they could start taking most of the views independently. While at end of 2 months, the group A, which just went through conventional training without simulation exposure, continued to lag behind group B and C in getting all the TE views without assistance. There is a large simulator study going on in France where it's a nationwide prospective randomized trial where 43 centers are going to expose 70% of their cardiology residents to simulator-based T training. So there is a control group which will have conventional training for 3 months, and there is an interventional group where we'll have two simulation-based training on transesophageal echo. And then at end of 3 months, they are going to look at both the groups in their proficiency in acquiring all these pre-decided TE views. And I'm sure the simulator group is going to do better. Thank you.